when less becomes more. Sometimes, the most powerful shift in life doesn't come from adding more effort, more noise, more striving. Sometimes, it comes from gently allowing less pressure, less forcing, less urgency, and strangely enough, that's often when life begins to move again. Not because you gave up, but because you stopped gripping so tightly. There's a quiet wisdom in knowing when enough is enough. Not everything needs to be pushed. Not everything needs constant adjustment. Some things grow better in space, just like nature does. A seed isn't helped by digging it up every day to check its progress. It needs stillness, time, trust, and in many ways, so do we. Sometimes we think progress means constant action, constant productivity, constant output. But life has rhythms: breathing in, breathing out, movement, and pause. And both matter. There are seasons where doing less is actually alignment, not laziness, not stagnation, but wisdom. Because when you quiet the excess, you begin to hear what actually matters. When you stop chasing every possibility, you notice the right ones. When you release constant urgency, clarity often arrives on its own. You start to see that peace doesn't come from adding more. It often comes from removing what overwhelms you. Less comparison, less overthinking, less trying to control outcomes. And suddenly, you can breathe again. There's also something deeply reassuring about realizing you don't have to carry everything at once. Not every opportunity, not every expectation, not every timeline. Life isn't a race of accumulation. It's more like a garden, and gardens thrive on balance, not excess. Too much water floods roots, too much sun burns leaves, too much effort can exhaust the spirit. Balance allows beauty, and sometimes balance looks like doing less than you think you should. You don't have to prove your worth through constant motion. Your value isn't measured by exhaustion, or busyness, or how much you can carry. Sometimes your greatest strength is knowing when to pause, and trusting that nothing meant for you requires frantic energy to maintain. There's a calm confidence that develops when you stop overreaching. You begin to move with life instead of against it. You begin to notice things still unfold, opportunities still appear, connections still happen, not because you forced them, but because you made space. And space is powerful. Space allows perspective, creativity, healing, restoration. It allows intuition to surface again. And often, what emerges in that quiet is far more aligned than anything created through pressure. Less rushing often brings better timing. Less noise often brings better decisions. Less striving often brings deeper fulfillment. This isn't about disengaging from life. It's about engaging wisely, choosing what truly matters, and letting the rest soften. Letting life meet your calm instead of your tension, because life responds to energy, and calm energy invites flow. So if lately you've been feeling like you should do more, push more, prove more, maybe consider this gently. What if less is exactly what's needed? Less pressure on yourself, less expectation to have everything figured out, less urgency to force outcomes. Not forever, just enough to breathe again. Sometimes less becomes more clarity, more peace, more alignment, more life. And often, that's where everything truly begins.